Hey folks, welcome to At the Movies with Film. Film Brown here, just getting my squeegee ready. Remember the good old drive-in days? You had to clean off your screen, get those bugs off there. Sometimes the bugs are more interesting than the movie that you might be seeing. We've got a film tonight that's going to be, I think, a lot of fun. Might have been seen at the drive-in by some of you folks. Teenage Zombies, 1959. Now, we've seen some films done by Jerry Warren on this show before, but the films that we've seen by Jerry Warren are those where he takes some Mexican product and re-edits them and sticks in some of his own great footage. Remember Creature of the Walking Dead with that long massage. I'm a favorite. I really like that scene with the massage in that film. But we are seeing a film that he is sort of the one-man show in this thing. He wrote it, he directed it, he did the music for it, he edited it, he produced it, he did everything. He's not in it. It's too bad. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Jerry Warren. But some people argue that this is one of his best efforts. He did do some other films all by himself. What this film is about a bunch of teenagers who discover some weird experimentation that's going on an island. It's kind of interesting. Nobody seems to ever know that this island exists out there except for a bunch of teenagers who keep finding it by accident. Okay, but it's they find this island and they're doing some experiments, turning people into zombies. And it's got something to do with some Iron Curtain stuff where they're going to turn populations into sort of servants so that they can take care of the masses in a much easier way. Well, the teenagers kind of, well, I'm not going to tell you if they totally foil this mystery, but they get in the way. This film also puts on display, I talked about that great massage sequence in the Creature of the Walking Dead, and one of the hallmarks of that is these long takes. You'll see this happening very often in this film. That's one of the, I guess, one of his characteristic stylistic elements is that he likes to do long takes of people talking. Set the camera back at some long shot distance and just let people go on and on and on and on and on, sort of like we do on this show. And if we make a mistake, we just keep going. Well, sort of do the same thing in here. I kind of have a soft spot for Jerry Warren just for that very reason. Sort of fits our style of presentation. I would say Jerry Warren fits, if you strip away some of the content of his work, which is very mundane to a certain extent, you might say that Jerry Warren is a poor man's Orson Welles, because Orson Welles was a man enamored with long takes as well. Not as ornate, not a lot of camera movement. Of course, Orson Welles is a master of camera movement and long takes, particularly Touch of Evil and things like that. Here, camera, static camera, lots of dialogue going on and very minimal cutting. In a way, he fits in also in the minimalist tradition. There are some interesting fight scenes in this film. One particular near the end of the film where the teenagers fight the spies. Take a look at that fight. It's one of the weirdest setup fights I think I've ever seen. Twisted arms and things like that. It's sort of Bowery Boys-like. And as a matter of fact, there is a bit of a Bowery Boy type of take on this. It also reminds me of some of the Scooby-Doo type of episodes where the Scooby and the gang foil something strange on a weird island. Teenage Zombies, Jerry Warren. There is a Jerry Warren website out there that just sort of goes crazy over this film, finds this film to be a remarkable work, and they themselves put him into that Orson Welles tradition. Well, you know how some fanatics go with their products. The film is, well, of taste. You might really enjoy it. Some of you might need your mallets. Some of you might want to not squeegee off your screen because you want to say, hey, is that bug on the cheek there on the actor or is it on the screen? And maybe that's an activity that makes this film worth watching if you're not interested in the plot. Teenage Zombies. I feel like sometimes I live in a household of teenage zombies. I got 4 teenagers at home in my household. And the way they wander around sometimes, they're sort of zombie-like too. You might have some teenagers in your home. What is it with those folks? Now, Jerry Warren also remade this film, believe it or not, in 1981 as Frankenstein's Island. It's not a direct remake, but it's very close. Got the island situation. It's even got Catherine Victor, who's the main character in this film, doing another role in that as well, playing a scientist, as she does in here. She does a good job. There's also a gorilla in here. Jerry Warren is not ashamed of using monkeys. This is something that I also admire him for. He knows that, yeah, he's got to get some gimmicks in there, and he's got the great gimmick of all time. I think that the way to save anything is through a monkey. So you'll see a gorilla turn into a zombie at a certain point. Cool, yeah. Zombie-ized gorillas. It just boggles my mind. And also, this gorilla does have some chance to really cut it up later on at the end of the film. Teenage zombies. Might have seen this at the drive-in at one time. No doubt it did make that circuit. Jerry Warren, talent that does need to be recognized. He's in that time frame with Ed Wood and others who are sort of plying out with Kuna. Yeah, remember him, the great Hawaiian filmmaker? All of these guys making some wonderful movies. Teenage zombies. Have some fun. Get some popcorn.